Grinding her teeth, Maya was aware that James wasn't actually taking her words to heart. With Maya being injured and him wanting her to get better quickly, James didn't want her to stay awake to keep watch for monsters. His injuries may have been more severe, but it didn't change the fact that he still wanted better treatment for her. While she was getting up, James watched to see any indication that her ankle still had issues. Sighing, Maya gave up. Turning to look at their surroundings, she asked, "Did anything come close to us?" Shaking his head, James said, "Nope. The animals were acting normally all night." Turning her head towards James, Maya grinned. It seems like the animals are a pretty good alarm system. Reaching down, James picked up Maya's pack and handed it to her. She grabbed the pack and began putting it on. Picking his own pack and getting himself ready, he said, "I'm glad that you're doing better." Maya looked at James. "Who do you think is to blame for that? With how long I've been able to rest, it would be weird if my ankle didn't completely heal." "So, you're able to run for the day?" James asked. With them walking for the past several days, it meant that they didn't make much progress getting out of the forest. Resting at night to give their bodies a chance to recover just added more time to their journey. "I shouldn't have any issues. I'll likely be able to run further than you're able since I've been sleeping through the nights," Maya said, jabbing at him for not waking her up so she could share the burden. "Glad to hear that," James laughed at the comment. Maya started jogging towards the path and slowly picked up her pace. Seeing that she was running nearly as fast as before the injury made James happy. Not wanting to be shown up, James ran after Maya. Running through the forest felt nice, stretching their legs and getting used to being close to 100%. The wind also felt lovely as it flowed past his face and through his hair. Their pace was slightly slower than if they were fully healed, but was comparably better than when they were injured and walking through the forest. James began noticing that the animals were gone from their immediate surroundings as they ran through the forest. "Maya," James called out. Turning her head as she stopped, she asked, "Is it about the animals?" James nodded. "Forest cats?" Maya asked, a look of worry flashing across her face. James could feel sweat beginning to form, thinking that it could be the forest cats or the stone bear. "Let's move forward with caution," James began to say. A shout was heard off in the distance in the direction they were heading. The two of them looked in the direction of the shout. It was shortly followed by another, but from a different person. "What do you think?" Maya looked at James. With how he wasn't fully healed, a part of him was worried about going towards the voices. But at the same time, the fighting was happening in the direction they were moving. If it's either forest cats or the stone bear, it may be beneficial for us to help them out. With the added numbers, it may offset the fact that neither of us is completely healed, James said. He didn't mention that the shouts could be coming from bandits moving through the forest to avoid the security forces that guarded the main roads. If it were bandits, then they would have to take the time to move around them. Whoever won the fight would end up being a potential threat to them. Maya looked at him, waiting for him to make the decision. Taking a deep breath, James said, "Let's proceed and see if we can help them out. But first, let's determine who they are." Pressing her lips together, Maya nodded grimly. Both Maya and James began heading in the direction of the fight, both worried about what was in store for them.